this walking light's getting far too popular. It's normally mostly empty, that car parking week, but I just managed to get here as somebody were going, otherwise it'd have been a plan B. But anyway, we got one, so good to go. There's my footpath. That's me off the road. Morning. Super calm morning, to be fair. Alright, I parked at Barber Booth, just in that tree line there. Just had to walk back across the road and then up onto this footpath here. It's going to take me up onto Gateside path, but I'm just going to get to the path and then backtrack a bit into that clough. There's an Oxford wreck just in there, and then cut back onto the path, up there to the junction, down to the road, across the road about 100 metres, or down the road about 100 metres, and then down over a bridle path, what's going to take me the other side of that, all the way down to South Head and Mount Famine, turn back up to the path what brings me to the end of Brown Knoll, just hop the fence there and go to the Oxford wreck on the end of Brown Knoll near the Trig point. There is a P47 Mustang on here as well. It's just around that corner in one of the cloughs, but I'm not going to go to that one. I'm going up there, but before I go up there, I'm going down here. So I think there's another gate just down here, and I need to turn up a clough and just go up that a couple of 100 metres to this Oxford wreck, and this is on the north face of Rushup Edge. Alright, just here, this gate, I need to turn right and up. Just find somewhere to dump my bag, because no point dumping that up there, and there's really not many people about coming and going, so I should be able to just stash that and just go up with cameras. Basically it's just over the top of there in that gully. I think it's on the bank just around that nib. Holy crap. So right about there is what's left of an Oxford NM683 which crashed on the 4th of March 1945, and we're on the north flank of Rushup Edge, which is that. There's Mam Tor. You see a few people I can anyway on summit. So there's a great ridge, the windy road, and obviously overlooking Grinslow Knoll and Broadley Bank, Edale, Ringing Roger, Edale Moor, Kinder Scout. God, that took it out of me. So I've got some new boots. I'm getting on wet and everything. What's that about? So yeah, so that's the Oxford in this bit of a gully. So I dropped the bag at the bottom, umping that up way up here, and heading back now, negotiate the cattle, and head back down, pick me back up, and then up Gateside. It's always a bonus where it's where you left it. But yeah, up in that gully there, over the top of that rise, and about another 300 feet of it top before it starts to get steep, is on that left hand bank. Embedded into it is debris and said photos. Right, bag back on, that away. Mission 1 complete. Oxford wreck, first one. I'm back on Gateside, path now up onto top. It's quite a bit overcast, but quite pleasant. Not too warm, not too cold. No wind, or very little. At the minute, it might increase a bit when we get on the top. But at the moment, good to go. So I'm going to get to the top of here. Basically, I'm going to carry on down onto the road, and then the other side of this hill is a bridleway. Takes you over to South Edge. Just the other side of me now, probably straight over the top here, is the very little of the Hampden. So I'm not going to that today. And there's not that much to see when you get to it. And there's the Cowburn Tunnel air vent. It looks a bit like a castle. It's got like turret tops, and then the igloo is there, just sticking out a run and just running past it. So go there for your dinner, over to Cowburn, and then break back onto the main path and carry on. It's a good way because it breaks up that path. So when I get to this junction, it's going to kill me left a bit to get to the Rushup Edge path, and then I've got to drop down to the road. I remember when all this was peat bog. But yeah, so I say they paved it all the way now. It goes off about 2.5 miles over to Brown Knoll, Trig, and then back. But all this, before these pavers are in, were literally off-piste, bog up, pretty much all the way. We're like a sort of rough cut stream course, really, what everybody sort of walked up against. A major bog up to get anywhere. Great fun, but also very knackering and time consuming. I hope they extended this path out. That always used to be flooded, but that was the end of that was the path, so it looks like they've expanded that out a little bit, because you had to go over top to get out. But, yeah, so Mount Famine and then South Edge just coming to view, and that's where we head into, but from the low path, like down the other side of them fields in them trees. Yeah, down here to the T-junction. Now I'm turning right. If I turn left, it'll put me back across the Rushups Edge to Lord Seat, and this will take me down to the road, about 100 metres of road, and then turn right onto the bridleway. From that signpost I came to where T-junction, where I turned right. If you turn left, you go on to Rushups Edge. If you just go along there from that corner about 500 metres on the south flank of Rushups Edge, in a field network. You have to jump a couple of walls and stuff, but that's where the Hampden is. But I say it's not nothing major to go and investigate, other than, you know, if you are hunting the wrecks down, then, you know, to tick it off, it's there, but it's not worth the effort if you're expecting to see something, you know, on the scale of the Super Fortress or anything like that. That's the exception to the rule on a lot of these aircraft wrecks. There are a couple of other decent debris pools on a few of them, but some of the others have very, very little to find. So you'll be very disappointed if you're actually going to be blown away by this stuff. So yeah, down here, there's a signpost down here. I'm going to turn right on the bridleway. Pennine Bridleway Perryfoot. Pennine Bridleway South Head, 2.5 miles. You're looking at what are you looking at? Just improved on my own joke there, which I didn't even know I'd made. Just on this Pennine Bridleway. But, I was going to say it's very quiet, not seeing anybody, but then the chap came up this way and then turned down that path there, so. But other than that, super quiet. Of course, the problem with going down all this way is you gotta go back up. Calm though, no wind out. I know, so I'm quite quite sheltered here from on all sides, but even up on top it weren't that windy or cool or anything. It's quite a nice temperature. A load of little flying gnats or whatever, which is the downside of not having a breeze, I guess. It is quite deep. Right, that's the down done. Ooh, little bench. I think I'll have my sandwich here, may as well. It's just a bit of a plod, I think. This first section gets a little bit steep around this corner, and then it's just an averaged cut up the side. Up around the corner and a bit more up. Just had my dinner right down in the basin there. There's a bench near that gate, and so I just had my sandwich there and effectively just come all the way up here in one. Other than just getting my camera off, I just stopped to do that. We're getting there. Getting the stamina back, endurance. Just up here, path should curl around to my right, and South Head should come into view. We get to the base of this on this right hand shoulder, and Mount Famine will come into view behind that, and there's a junction. I'm turning right, and that's going to take me over yonder to Brown Knoll. So there the plan is just to jump onto the path of Brown Knoll, go in there a couple of 100 metres to the Oxford wreck, just because. Wonder what that way then. I just hear this. What the bloody hell's that? It's that quiet up here. I could hear a bird flapping its bloody wings. And here, just over this little rise, should be the path down from South Head, which is there. So yeah, South Head, that's Mount Famine. So that's the turnaround effectively. So yeah, come from over the other side of that, up gate side, all around here, down this access path here. I'll say now at South Head, Mount Famine, and now I've got to head across here. The other side of this wall can be a bit of a bog fest at times. That's going to mind me up there, which is up to Brown Knoll, Trig, which will be up on top of there. Note majorly exciting on this section. Say a couple of peat bogs to negotiate, and holes not to fall in like that one. Me, myself and I. Nobody else. There's somebody on the horizon there. They're pretty much coming to the end of Brown Knoll. So I'm going to follow this path along this wall all that way. They're about to come to the wall, and that's where the gate is. I'm going to jump over there, go over to the Oxford wreck, which is there basically. Brown Knoll Trig. get to the Oxford from here, that's Brown Knoll Trig is there, so I'm on the path about halfway to the end, and it's basically, if you look at South Head, it's pretty much that way, about 400 feet. So it's just in case of anywhere off of this path, just head over that way. It just depends, as I say, how much of a bug fest this could be, which could be quite substantial in places. So you definitely have to watch your foot placing. Well, there is an Oxford. What's left of an Oxford. So this one is the Oxford HN594. That's 2 of the 4 wrecks I was hoping to go to, so I'm not going to get to the other 2. I really haven't got the time to get there, but I'll say I'll be able to point them out location wise when we're on top of Jacob's Ladder. But that's the Oxford. Let's take a few photos and then either duck back that way really to intersect the path. The fence line's there, so it's sort of over that way. So just literally at the top of that path at the crest there is Edale Cross. So where I'm off is down there basically. That's going to put me down to the top of Jacob's Ladder. Up there is the Anson wreck, and then a little bit lower is the Harvard, and then in just the top of that clough on the right hand side in the weeds is a hole, about a 4-foot hole, and in that hole is an engine. And then another thing what everybody doesn't see is just at the bottom of this hill, because they all come straight up the ladder. If you follow the stream around, just around the corner, you'll see about a 10-foot, 8 to 10-foot waterfall. Quite nice. I'll have a messy and do a hyperlapse running down Jacob's Ladder. Right. That's the bottom of Jacob's Ladder. I've just come down it. I just tried time warp, 360 time warp, so see how that comes out. Just on the Packhorse Bridge now. But yeah, there's these little set of falls here which are all very pretty. But if you just carry on to the corner, just to the bank, and just around the left hand side, probably about 50-60 metres in, like under that tree over yonder, there's a fairly decent fall. As long as I don't hit any traffic. Who's going to go for the path? I wonder. Not me, because there's nettle bushes. I'm just on this bit of access track, a couple 100 metres, and then we cut through a farm, and then it's on tarmac, and the rest of the way. Feet beyond tarmac. A bit like that. So I've just left the Pennine Way now, just on the Barber Booth road. That's a nightmare of a hill, that one. That'll test you out. Broadley Bank Tor. There's an aircraft wreck on the top of it. Just around this corner into these trees. A little bit emptier in here now. It were rammed out. There it was back. Right, GPS says 10.2 miles, 4 hours 18. It'll be just a bit more than that, probably about 10.5, because the extra bit I didn't catch when it turned off for some reason. So about 10.5. I'll plot it when I get home.